Yo, yo, yo. No topic today. Screw topics today. The reason I didn't choose a topic today is because sometimes you have to move forward in life without knowing what the you're doing. So usually I have a couple topics in mind for the week and I make a little script for them and then I kind of check my script and read off of that. But now I made an exception because sometimes you have to move forward without knowing what you're actually doing. Like I'm using this as a general example. I'm sure you had moments in life where you felt kind of stuck. You've set all this pressure for yourself, like, I don't know what to do next, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we end up in these kinds of places where we're kind of lost. We don't know what happens next, and that's completely fine. But here comes the problem. We know that we have to progress. We still have to make progress and we have to improve ourselves. So instead of letting this feeling of being lost consume you, you simply have to take action. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm recording this video without knowing what I'm going to talk about next, but the topic will form itself. Yeah, I feel like I haven't done this in a while. Like the initial purpose of these videos was to make it fun. When we make progress, we start also putting pressure on ourselves and we kind of forget about the fun. We forget about why we initially started doing this. So back in the day, a couple months ago, I started filming content. I started with a 30-day personal challenge to film 30 videos straight. So I did that and I kind of spoke about what I felt like that day. And that was the initial purpose why I started filming content, to express myself freely, you know? So yeah, this video is kind of for creative people, people who like to be productive and who face these kinds of phases in their life. Maybe you just like working on some creative projects. Maybe you like doing art, whatever it is. You like to pursue something creative and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about like falling into these traps, falling into these lows in your creative life. So sometimes you have to take all the pressure off yourself and just jump straight ahead into the unknown. That's the thing, you know, we want to keep going and we feel fulfilled when we make something happen as creative people. So whenever we stop making progress, that feels like for me, it's been a toned down week this week. And I feel how all this energy accumulates in my body, like I have to release something, you know? I've even been on semen retention for a while. Greets to my good buddy Volk Weiss. He's an expert in this field. So go check him out if you're interested in self-improvement, semen retention, relationship stuff like that. He talks about it a lot. We as creators, we have to release our energy, and when we're not creating something that's meaningful to us, like this video, making these videos won't seem like a big deal to the viewers or the outsiders, but for me, this is good. And you have to create something for yourself that is meaningful to you. So that way you will move forward in your life. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to like release your creative energy into something meaningful. For example, sexual energy is creative energy also. And when you, for example, when you're on semen retention, you kind of have that energy, the excess energy you can direct towards meaningful stuff in your life. So sexual energy is one of those potent energies. When you preserve it, you don't bust all the time. You have to direct that energy into something great, into something meaningful. And that's a great way to actually get stuff done. Also, your mental energy and physical energy, obviously, too. When you know how to pace yourself in these situations where your energy is kind of like very open and you're kind of vulnerable in terms of like exposing your energy and giving it away or directing it towards something, you have to be very careful with this, you know? Like, there's a lot of vampires in the world, so to speak.
Deeper and deeper, you fall deep.
Who like just drain your energy. They take away your energy. These might be like dirty hoes, dirty girls you're sleeping with, or people like who always want something from you and they're your friends and you don't know kind of how to get rid of them and stuff like that, you know? You have to be very careful with people and how you treat yourself and your energy. So yeah, now we're talking about something here. Let's go back to the initial topic we formed. So making moves without knowing what's coming next. So jumping into the unknown and making progress. So the thing is, when you feel trapped, you feel stuck in this kind of weird phase in your life where you don't know exactly what's happening, what to do next. You have these ideas in your mind, but you're kind of unmotivated to start working on those ideas. But you still know that you gotta keep making progress in order to stay in the flow. The flow state is also very important to creative people. We kind of want to stay in this creative realm. We don't want to even like move out of it. We want to be in this creative mode all the time. And that's where it becomes difficult, you know? Sometimes we feel like very pissed off at ourselves that the ideas won't come. So the thing we have to do is just start with the first step, even if we have doubts in our mind. Because, for example, this whole week I've been releasing a couple posts on my IG, a couple of shorts on my YouTube, and I feel kind of like I'm not in this creative mode. And obviously these doubtful thoughts start coming into my head. So the way to overcome all this doubt and negativity and this depression, in a sense, is you just have to fucking do the first step, even if it doesn't work. Like, this video could flop, you know, totally. Like, I could fucking delete this video entirely. But that's the point. You did something. You released your energy into something. You tried. That's exactly where you get rewarded. You put your energy into that meaningful thing, even if you don't feel like it, you know? Like I did, I just set up the scene, press record, and start talking. And so you're a creative person. You have a creative pursuit. Therefore, you know exactly where you should be putting your effort. You know exactly where to target your energy. Simply take all the pressure off yourself. Start creating something. Create that snowball effect again. I talk about the snowball effect a lot in my videos. It always works that way. When you start from something small, eventually that energy will grow. If it doesn't grow, you do something else. You take a walk, you take a break. You might have to take on something else that's creative in a different way. But the point is, you have to always keep the energy flowing to stay in this creative flow state, to circulate your energy, to stay away from these negative loops. There's always something creative to do. It doesn't matter what it is, just keep the energy flowing. Peace.